I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the
States of
United States of
America,
America,
to the republic
which is
one nation,
under
under God,
God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Hannah Jakeways. I represent the City of Walled Lake and the City Manager's Office. Tonight is Monday, March 14th, 2022, at a regularly scheduled Parks and Recreation meeting. I'd like to take a moment to introduce city officials with us in attendance, both electronically and in person. To my left, Deputy City Clerk and HR Administrator Miranda Gross. To my right, DPW Superintendent Dan Ladd, and also in attendance with us, Mayor Ackley. Also in attendance is City Manager Witt. I'd also like to take a moment to thank Merge Live and Rob Wittes, who's assisting us with our live streaming services this evening. Mr. Robertson, I'd like to turn it over to you.
Okay, can we have a roll call?
Can you just make sure everyone's unmuted?
Yep.
Okay. Arnold?
I'm here.
Fernandez?
Yes.
Johnson?
Here.
Macy?
Here.
O'Rourke? Palmer? Robertson?
Here.
All right, we do have a quorum.
Yes, we do. Request for agenda changes? Approval of the minutes of February 14th.
So moved.
I guess I can support that myself.
Thank
I'll
you.
second also.
Even better. Audience participation. Do we have any audience?
Doesn't look like there's any in person.
Doesn't look like there are any electronic comments at this time.
Okay, unfinished business, we have none. New business, doesn't look like we have any. Discussion, update on the Mercer Beach improvements, Phase 1, I assume that'll be the city manager.
Tonight I brought myself and staff here to give really this board, this commission, an update. The mayor's here too. I will say that yesterday, on Sunday, the mayor and I spent most of the day traveling all the streets in Walled Lake, inspecting them for what's going to happen this summer, and looking at the projects we got going. So we had a nice dinner over to a new restaurant. It's called Dave and Amy's. If you haven't been there, go in. It's going to be called the Atrium very shortly. So they're changing their name of the business, been taken over, partnered up with some other folks. So they're open for business, and the mayor and I had dinner yesterday, pretty good meal. We did run into the competing restaurant. We ran into a council member who also owns a restaurant, and he was cooking all day yesterday, getting ready for this weekend, which is a big weekend for them. So I'm going to turn it over to Dan Ladd, who's going to give you a briefing on what is downtown, and probably every other part. We'll have Ms. Jacoby, he'll tell you a little bit about some of the roads and stuff, but downtown is important to know that when it's going to be finished up, because we got activities going on in the summertime. And we found out today that it looks like that the one group has already scheduled the fireworks for the 25th, but there was no coordination with city manager's office or the city hall or the police department, so we have to find them and try to coordinate that to make sure that there's no construction there. Mary, you know the team down there, so we need to get together with them. So Dan, if you can give the board, the commission, city council, whoever else is listening, another update on what's going on downtown. Start with that, and then we'll go to Decker, and then we'll go to Pontiac.
Okay, sure thing. So, good evening, everyone. They started the project at Mercer Beach, Phase 1, the stormwater infrastructure project, management of stormwater. If you've been by there recently, it's pretty messy, but hopefully it will get cleaned up pretty quick. Once they get the main component, the storm scepter, it cleans the water before the water enters the lake. Once they get that installed, and then they can start laying the pipe, it should move pretty quick and get it put back together and get some base down and hopefully make it at least usable for upcoming events. And then we'll move into phase 2, which is the all the new concrete sidewalks, picnic tables, shower pad, new fence, totally redoing the whole beach. So they're moving along. We just need to be patient with the weather, and now with the frost laws on, they have to haul out only half loads of material that they have to remove, and bringing new material in, they can only bring in half loads. So everything just takes a little longer in the spring. So that's update for Mercer Beach.
Okay, now the next one we want to tell you about is, I think, it's also downtown, and that's the work we're going to have done on. Ms. Jakeway, can you handle that for a minute? And then we'll have Mr. Ladd add to it if he needs to. Give us an
Sure.
update on,
Pontiac Trail?
yes, Pontiac Trail.
Sure. So Oakland County offers a lot of programs and assistance to local villages, cities, and townships. And one of these programs offered through Oakland County to improve roads is the Tri-Party Program. And just recently, last week, City Manager Witt executed an agreement with Oakland County to resurface Pontiac Trail from east-west Maple Road to the city's western limits. This project does continue further down, and I'll have Superintendent Dan Ladd explain the direction and timeline of this project. But that'll be happening very shortly this summer, and we're looking to have Pontiac Trail resurface in preparation for our Memorial Day Parade, which the Parks and Recreation Board assist in. Superintendent Ladd, if you could
Yeah,
add
Dan,
on to
touch
that.
on the sidewalk issue too, so.
So the limits of the project are going to extend all the way to west of Wixom Road. So it's going to be quite a lengthy project. One good thing about this project and why the county really likes to use this tri-party funds and do projects, these resurfacing overlays, is they go really quick. So this whole project could be done probably within 2 to 3 weeks once they get started. And the process is they go through and they mill the curb, the edges of the curbs, the asphalt down 2 inches, and put a 2-inch overlay over top of the whole road. So it moves very fast, very little impact on traffic. So it should be a great project. Definitely we know it's in need of it. And also the city has partnered up with the DDA and the downtown businesses that abut up to Pontiac Trail and are establishing a private-public partnership to redo sidewalks if they feel that they're ready and want to help out and repair the sidewalks in front of their businesses. So that's going to be a really good project for safety, walking on these sidewalks. It's an old design, an old town. You know, it's 3 lanes. It used to be 2 lanes. So the road is extended right out to the edges of the buildings almost. So improving the sidewalks would be a great benefit.
Let me add some more to that, what I think is useful for tonight's meeting. The project's about $700,000. The city, what I did with the contract that I executed was to commit our tri-party funds. That's matched by the 2 other entities, tri-party, three parties, 2 others, and so they're going to move forward on that. What we're going to try to do through the DDA, with the DDA, and probably with City Council, we'll give a similar report to the City Council. So, Mayor, you'll get to hear it again. I think you heard it on the DDA, too. So we're going to try to partner with the businesses down there who abut Pontiac Trail in that area to improve their sidewalks, make adjustments that they might want to do, and see what kind of contributions we can get from them if they want to make adjustments at this similar time that we're getting the Pontiac Trail resurfaced. This is also the time the City Council and the DDA can start talking about filling in the spaces for making a community walkable. We got some missing sidewalks, or we got sidewalks that simply never were put in, and we have to talk about the feasibility and what the cost would be to acquire the easements and all of that, and that's more than just pouring concrete and replacing sidewalks. It's much more difficult to do that. But when you look at Pontiac Trail, over by what we all know as the villas, around the bend there, you see that on the Novi side, they dead-ended into Wall Lake, and it's almost a monument to not doing sidewalks. It stops right there. When you come around Pontiac into Wall Lake, you see it stops. And so do we come on that side and put a sidewalk in? We got to acquire the ownership of the easements, and that takes a lot of money plus the construction. So that's going to be a much more difficult process than just fixing the sidewalk. We also need to start at Pontiac Trail and walk down both sides of Pontiac Trail and take a look at repairing what's damaged. It looks like from the weather and the storm and maybe even from the plowing, a lot of the handicap identification areas, the whatever they call them.
Warning signals. Warning signals?
Well, that'd be it, and they've popped off, they've been removed, so fixing that for our handicapped folks that need that kind of assistance. So we got work to do on the sidewalks, but the biggest benefit will be for our parade and whatnot, and partnering up with the businesses that want to partner up. If they don't want to partner up, that's fine, but if they're budding close enough, then we'll partner with them and see what we can contribute to what they want to do and what they may contribute back. So we're looking at real activity going on down there. Having said that, we have another couple other things to talk about. Again, it applies to the city as a whole, but recreation, they need to know about this too. So Dan, can you give us a briefing on Decker, and let's add in 14 Mile to the lake. So
I'm sorry, I have a question. So what are the timelines of
So
each
the county
area?
has not, they haven't put out their schedule yet they have several of these projects going on throughout the county, and so they haven't put out their schedule yet. But
we like to
as soon as we
think
get
as
it-
soon as they open the asphalt plants that they're going to be hitting the ground. That these people make money by putting down asphalt. They don't make money if they don't put it down. So we expect that Pontiac Trail project goes pretty quickly, quicker than we anticipated early on. We got on board, so we're pretty confident that's going to happen pretty quickly after the asphalt. And that opens what, April something? April
15th normally.
Yeah, so don't hold us to it. I'm sure that's a question everybody's got. We're not doing the project, we're contributing to it, we're coordinating with them and all that, but the contractor will probably set the timeline once they get the bids in.
Okay, are they starting from East West Maple, or are they starting from Wixom?
I'm not sure what direction they're going to go. That'll
Okay.
be up to the contractors to
Okay,
figure out.
thank you.
I would like for them to start at Maple Road for sure, to get that section done first. That would be
Well,
good.
tell them about now let's talk about the project we got on Decker, which has been a long time coming. It got delayed, and then the 14-mile project. So if you can tie those two together, even though it's two projects, it's going to look like one. So let's give the commission an update on that.
Okay, sure thing. So the first project, the 14-mile road project, is the redundancy water main that was installed by Great Lakes Water Authority, which is a great project for the city. It allows the city to have two water mains feeding the whole city. So if they need to do maintenance on the older system, they can totally shut it down and keep water flowing to the city, which is phenomenal. If there's a break or something, that water main will always be up and running. Even if there's a break on one of them, we'll always have water. So when they're done with that project, they're going to do the last tie-in just west of Decker Road starting Monday. It's going to take them probably to the end of May to get that done. They're going to close Decker Road, or I'm sorry, 14 Mile from west of Decker to Walled Lake Drive. That will be shut down, or just west of their construction limit, till the end of May. And then when they get that all done, hopefully then they're going to start paving. And the good thing about that project and the paving for the city of Walled Lake is they're going to pave all the way to 14, or all the way, they're going to pave 14 Mile all the way to Walled Lake Drive, from M5 to Walled Lake Drive. So it's one of our major gateways to the city, so it'll be, really good road for people to enter the city. The other project is Decker Road from 14 to Maple, East-West Maple. It's about a mile, 9/10 of a mile. We're going to pulverize about 70% of the asphalt going from 14 to 15 Mile, and then the last little 3/10 of a mile are going to be milled down 2 inches and resurfaced, because that road's newer at that end, at the north end. The south end will totally get repulverized, and they'll do 2 2-inch lifts of asphalt on it, fix the curbs where they're broke, add curb and gutter where we don't have any, and also repair the old infrastructure for stormwater management underneath the road, so it hopefully will last a lot longer than this one.
Adding to that, as you all know, the DDA they committed money to put sidewalks on that. So we've got new sidewalks that they're almost pristine still. And so we did those. We separated that project from the paving because it was going to take too long on the paving. So we got the DDA, with support of DDA and the city council members, we got the sidewalks in. And with this project, we get all these done, we'll have one really bad road, really bad road. Decker's got to be the worst road in our city right now, and we're getting all kinds of emails on it, and there's a lot of jokes about it, but it's pretty rough on the vehicles too. So if we get that done this summer, then we're as close as we're ever going to get them up to speed. So maintenance will be the issue from then on out. Dan, I think that covers all the roads, doesn't it, for now?
I believe so, for now.
For now. Just as we get them done, this is Michigan, and the roads keep breaking up, so starts all over again after we get these done. I think that's it for Mr. Ladd, our superintendent, so it falls to the next item, I guess.
Next item is the discussion on the spring egg hunt. As some of you know, last Saturday, we stuffed, I don't know how many cartons of eggs, but they're in the hall over there, a bunch. So I don't know.
Ms. Gross is going to tell us all about that.
Go ahead.
All right, so I wanted to begin by thanking Mr. Robertson and Mr. Macy for coming out on Saturday and helping us prepare for the egg hunt. We actually stuffed, I believe it was over 2,000 eggs in less than 2 hours. Yeah. So we've got those ready to go for the event. All the entertainment is booked, and we are ready to go. I did want to mention that if it does rain, we'll probably call it like a day or so before, and we'll have it at the fire station like we have in the past. Okay. But other than that, we are hoping that you guys will come out and help us distribute the eggs across the park the day of. Usually we have you come out at like 10 a.m. It starts at 11 a.m., 9:30, 10 probably, but we have another meeting before the egg hunt, so I will let you know for sure at the next meeting what time to be there to help. And that's pretty much all I have on that. If anybody has any questions, I can answer them.
Can I ask what the entertainment is?
Yeah, so we have a magician doing a little magic show after the egg hunt. As we all know, they get picked up pretty fast, so they usually start that at like 12:15. And then at 11, we will have a bounce house, and we will have Chamberlain pony rides. They've shown up at a couple of our events before, like they came to the farmer's market. They have, Hannah, do you know exactly what they're bringing? I'm sorry.
Yeah, they'll be bringing in a pony for rides, and as well as a collection of small farm animals to pet and meet. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, so I think that's it as far as entertainment. And then we got Detroit Donuts to come out. They are like a donut food truck, and they are going to be selling donuts at the event.
Are they going to have cannolis?
No.
That's important.
They will not. Just donuts, I believe.
But fresh donuts.
Yes, I heard they were very good. They were at the Trunk or Treat last year or the year before.
2 years ago for sure.
Okay, yeah, and they were a hit, so we got them to come, and we're excited about that. But that's pretty much all I have. Do you have anything to add?
No, that's about covered it.
Did anybody else have anything to add or any questions on the Easter egg hunt?
No.
I have one other brief update, if you don't mind. I'm having the dumpster delivered at Riley Park tomorrow. We're going to be removing all the playground equipment this week. The new playground equipment is in. It's being stored, housed, so it's been paid for, and looking forward to getting that project started as well.
That's great.
That's going to be nice.
Now, are you guys
That's
installing
exciting.
that, or do you have a crew coming out?
No, our crew is coming out to install it. The company's doing it.
The mayor and I sat in the lot yesterday inspecting that, and I'm not sure that that's why you just now reported that, but she gave orders yesterday to get the part fixed. So we sat down there for a few minutes revisiting, when that was going to get done. So that's good news, Dan. Thank you.
That is exciting news.
And I did take pictures of the old equipment and everything over there, and I put them in a PowerPoint, and I plan to take pictures when it's done, and then bring it,
It'll be a big difference.
bring it to one of the
It was
meetings
rough
to
when I
show you
got
guys the big difference.
That's a great
Yeah.
idea. Actually, that park equipment has served Wall Lake very well for many years. It just simply it came apart. It's old. How old is it? 20 years old or plus? 20 years? 20
A little over 20 years,
Gotta be
maybe
over.
20.
Yeah, and the wood in it has simply decomposed, but it served well. I've been here 12 years, and a lot of folks have played on it. A lot of kids have enjoyed that park. So let's see if we can match that kind of experience, but we're looking forward to get it done, and I appreciate your giving that update. I forgot about that, but the mayor didn't, so thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay,
that's
we
it.
on to the summer concerts.
All right, yeah. So I was directed to reach out to the interested bands since it is so late in the season. I sent an email to everyone that reached out and asked for their fees and availability. I did have several reach out saying they were unavailable because of the late notice. However, I did get at least 7 responses back saying that they had some kind of availability and then gave me their fees.
And will we be able to fit it into the budget?
Yes.
I gave instructions to Ms. Gross, because this all comes out of the manager's office, because we're getting late, and we needed to engage these people as soon as we can. Budgets can be amended a little bit, but so if anybody shows up who comes later and we can work them in and their timelines fit, we've not ended this, but we certainly, she was ordered to engage to make sure that we have a summer concert. So that's what that's about. It doesn't exclude anybody who still may be within the budget, within a reasonable cost. We can't engage any of the national groups and stuff, small town budget for that kind of activity. But we've not written anybody off, but we have ordered up. I did that because we needed to move, and I didn't want to not get some bands. The people in Wall Lake are accustomed to having certain bands. Some of them have been doing it for a long time. It's a very diverse group. There has been this discussion that it wasn't, or questioning it. I don't know how you pick a band. We pick them based on their music, and there is a diverse group, and have been for ever since I've been here. We made that happen from the very beginning. So you have some of the folks who play country. They play just any kind of music we got, but it's all about the music and entertaining the people who go to the concerts. So we're pleased. We got them some engaged. But anybody else who thinks they got a band that wants to play, they can come in and offer up their services, and if their price is right and their time schedule is right, they may well get, a seat at the table. That's it.
Yes, Mayor.
Mayor? Go ahead.
We kind of touched on it yesterday, but we didn't really talk too much about it. Next door, I know we're trying to get ready to dedicate and open up the bridge and get that ready, and there's no timetable yet. We got a lot on our plate. But are we anticipating maybe towards the end of the summer being able to have 1 or 2 concerts at the new campus area?
The issue is who we're going to do that. This will be open. We're going to do some work, but before we start scheduling it, we got to decide what other activity, construction activity we're going to do. What's next up for us? We're trying to do all these other projects that we got going, which are non-recreation related. One of them, it is recreation related, DDA related, it's everybody related, and the superintendent has instruction on that, is to do the necessary work to open the bridge, so that we have a bridge from the trail, which is biking and all of that, to our facilities, which becomes, we believe, the new trailhead ultimately. But there's other kinds of activities that may be happening. But yes, we're looking at having, if there's any more outdoor plays and/or concerts. This is different than what Ms. Gross is doing, but this doesn't exclude that. So anybody who thinks that they can put together a program, we would work with them on this facility as long as it, and it looks like it's going to be great for that kind of activity too, even better than some of the stuff that we've done in the past. But yeah, we haven't excluded that, but we haven't gone full bore on inviting people in until we get to construction and finalize what we're doing with the training aspect of it. And until that's all done, we need more meetings on that. The next big project for that part of public safety is opening the bridge and getting that accessible to the trail, and getting the bikers moving this summer, and getting the walkers walking, and give them some facilities to use when they come to Wall Lake. So that's next up on the agenda. I can't tell you when the next time we're going to have a play. I've not met with the Playhouse people this year yet. COVID shut it down, the cold shut it down, so it's a little early for me to give you any report on that, Mayor.
Okay, thank you.
Manager Witt, with all due respect, as I always agree with pretty much everything you have to say, I have to completely and absolutely disagree with the fact of saying that that the concerts have been diverse. I think they've been far from that, actually. I've been a resident of the city since I was 15 years old. I've attended the city concerts and, you know, go to them even now still. I do think after having a chance to review some of the numbers that Ms. Gross sent over, I think the bands that you guys have lined up are much more better suited, even with other local bands, for what the budget has allotted. And I also think that there are probably some bands from that list, I know a couple of them that I saw on that list she sent over, that are definitely very representative of some of the community. But the community has changed over the last 20 to 30 years. The demographics have changed over the last 20 to 30 years, definitely in the last 5 years. I don't think that the entertainment is completely reflective of the demographic of the community, but I would still at the same time say that, you know, there's not enough people showing up sometimes at the park, the music in the park concerts to really make that big of a deal about something like that. And I mean, mind, we're talking about, you know, city concerts, and I understand like you said, there are some people that look forward to seeing some of those same people, and they probably do a great job. That's why you guys continue to hire them out. And again, like I know some of those bands, they're pretty good. At the same time, I do think there could be some diversity, hopefully in the future, maybe next year. I know COVID stopped a lot of things. Hopefully that can be looked at and reviewed thoroughly with fresh eyes and not just you know, status quo or what we've done before in the past, and give things a new look over. But I do think, specifically with the budget purposes, I think that's very much in line for the cost of affordability for local bands. And some of those bands really are great. Again, my only disagreement would be diversity. But that's it. But other than that, I think everything else sounds great.
I'm not sure why you disagree. I believe I've been here 12 years, and the bands that we've been hiring in 12 years represent the community quite well. I don't know how do you pick a band based on diversity? We base it on the music that the people want to hear here and the budget. If you've got anybody who wants to participate, you need to get them over here and get them within budget, and let's get them on the stage. If you can do that, we can't do business with you because you're a member of the commission. But if you know a band that wants to come and play, then send them over, or a performer. The discussion about diversity that keeps coming up, the diversity here in Wall Lake is not it's not changed that radically in the 12 years I've been here. Nobody's complained about the bands, and I understand you're bringing it up, but we don't hire bands based on color, race, or religion. We hire them based on music, and if the people want to hear it, we're going to hire them.
Well, and I'm talking about music also, too, again, with all due respect, city manager, with all due respect, I'm talking about music also, too. And what I'm saying is that the music, I don't feel personally and professionally that it's reflective of the community. I have lots of friends of many different ethnicities that live over in the apartments over there off of Pontiac Trail, across from the Dave and Amy's, which is going to be the atrium, and a lot of the other developments in the area that have significantly changed. And I don't think the music itself is diverse. I don't think the music has been representative of that change. But again, I also don't think, and I'm not speaking again on national acts, I'm speaking on local acts, like you were saying, that would be budget friendly. I think that coming out of COVID probably is best, especially, with just trying to get things back going with some known commodities. And again, from that list, I know several of those bands, and most of those bands are really great. But again, I'm talking about just music also. I think that there are some people that are not properly represented in the community that would come out to attend some different things if the music was a little more diverse, is what I'm saying, to be very specific.
I hear what you're saying. You're raising an issue about diversity, and I'm telling you that you're allowed to disagree. I've been here 12 years, and it's pretty diverse. I've been hiring these people. I'm married to a woman of color, so this idea that there's no diversity, if that's what you're talking about, we don't hire people based on their religion. We hire people or their color or anything else. We hire people based on what the community wants to hear. If you believe somebody wants to hear a band, or you can recruit them, then they need to show up at City Hall, and we'll put them on the list. But you're entitled to your opinion. I've been here 12. I've been running the city for 12 years, and I believe it's absolutely representative of the community, the people that come here. It doesn't mean that other people won't like the bands. I don't like some of them. I don't like even what they call themselves, but I accept that because other people do. But I disagree with you that we haven't hired a diverse band group of performers for the last 12 years. That's okay. We're allowed to do that. So send somebody to the front office, and we'll hire them if they fit within our budget.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Manager. I appreciate that.
I guess the mayor's going to get a little bit into this discussion. I keep hearing that we need more diversity, we need bands, but no one is coming, and that includes you, Commissioner Giovanni. You're not coming up with anybody that you're suggesting. We have Ms. Gross in the city who works very hard to recruit these bands. I think you still do some of it through the county, some are people that are coming back from prior years. Anyone that's interested, and as the city manager says, can come in with the budgeted amount, we will consider. But they're not coming forward. We can sit here all night and talk about diversity, but nobody is coming forward, either you or anybody else, to come up with these bands. So if that's what you want, and it appears that that is what you want, then bring something forward to be considered. And until that time, I think we've just about beat this issue. I've been tuning into the Parks and Rec meetings, and that's all we talk about is we need to do it, this is what the people want, but nobody's bringing anyone forward. So if that's what we want to do, then let's see who wants to come to Wall Lake and play, and if they want to come within the budget, we'll see what we can do.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, with all due respect, I agree with that, and I also do understand what you're saying about people coming forward, and I think that, in fact, I know I can agree again with yourself and also City Manager Witt on making sure that I can produce, and I will look into doing that, producing maybe some people that can come, not entertainers, but people from the community that can write into you guys' email and express some of the things that I know I hear people talk about when I'm out at different social events in Walled Lake. People that go over to the Bayside Bar, which is now the Tiki, or when I went and hung out some nights with some of the people that I hang around in the community, and people that I don't hang around in the community that sometimes chime in and different things we're talking about, the karaoke nights over there at Casey's. But I think it would be better, I think at least, if the, again, this is a small topic, but again, if some people were able to reach out to you guys and express that, so that, we know that this is not just happening in vain. You guys aren't putting a ban out there because one person says it, but there are some people that in the community that would like to see some diversity in the music, not about race, color, or creed, diversity in the music that is coming out to these different concerts. And I agree with that also, too.
Does anybody else have anything to say?
I think I'll just say that, I'm open to giving it a try. The answer is going to be how many people show up. for each band, and I think we need to track that. Just, take pictures and just see how, see how people respond. If they don't respond, then we'll move another direction. I think, life is all just trying and moving on and testing and...
We have to have somebody to try.
Right.
And if we don't have anybody coming forward or nobody suggests anybody, people aren't going to show up because we don't have anything.
Right, so let's give it a try.
Kind of a going in circles here.
Do we have records on previous concerts, attendance-wise? Are they well-attended, not so well-attended?
So last year was my first year actually handling the concerts. So I did attend most of them. Me and Miss Jakeways did attend most of them. And I would say there was probably anywhere from like 30 to 50 people coming out. So I don't know in the past how many people have come out because I did not go to them. But another thing I just wanted to note was that we did have some different bands reach out, whether it was like the past couple years, saying that they were interested and they were already booked, and I kept all their information. So we do have some newer people that I'm trying to include in this as well, not just keep all the same and like they have in the past. So I just wanted to mention that. So there are new bands too, not just the same.
That might be possibly where I was leading to in having some of the concerts over here. We used to have the concerts up at the Villa where we had a very good attendance. We obviously had a captive audience. As nice as our park is, it's kind of hidden. And most of the people that are coming to the concerts are walking to it because they're right next door. And I know we don't have the staff to do it like we used to, but we used to have the signs out for the concerts. Maybe we need to think of new ways to advertise to get more people to the concerts. If it's put something in the spinal column, get the spinal column to help us out or do stuff, I don't know. But the location of it just isn't bringing the people out.
We do typically advertise in the spinal column. The only thing is we like to include the band's names so they can advertise. And it's kind of hard when you do it last minute because it's hard to get it in the paper. And it's hard to make a flyer or advertisement material when we don't have the names of the bands, because obviously they want us to advertise for them as well because they want a crowd. But then they bring people too, so it's kind of a mixture of things. But I think we could definitely maybe get some yard signs and put them out to get people to the park. That's the only thing I think we don't do. I mean, we usually do a flyer, we usually put it on the website, we usually advertise in the paper.
Right, and I think as commissioners, I think that we need to promote it too through our social media networks, to our friends. I'm happy to put a sign in my yard. I mean, I'm right on Pontiac Trail. So, I mean, I think there's ways that we can do that and help out any way that we can. I promise to promote them as much as I can and see if we can get some people out. It would be fun.
Yeah. Well, like I said, as soon as they're actually booked and finalized, then we can start getting flyers and stuff out there. But right now, I don't want to put just the dates out there and not the band's names and all that, so.
If I could, I have one other question just regarding what the mayor had said. What would be the possibility, even with, the same bands, that have been booked or whatnot, trying to get maybe even by next year, once things are finished off, the series moved to the public safety campus, because location is extremely important. I know that Commissioner O'Rourke spoke on that last meeting about some of the ones that he attended and the attendance being low, and him thinking that things could have been a little more well-attended if it had been a little more visible. Is that something that's possible? Even though the park is beautiful, the park is ideal, but like you said, Mayor, that it's kind of, off the beaten trail to getting some of that stuff over to the campus, even the ones that are already being done, maybe for next year.
I'll touch on that. I'll respond. The answer to that is yes, it is possible. We should be making a distinction between the park concerts and what we might be doing at the public safety concept. The park concerts, the evolution of that we're having little concerts in the park. And then the discussion here is turning it into like somehow this is Woodstock all over. It's in Sims Park. It's a hometown kind of concert for the locals to go over and visit, and that's all that is. When you talk about bringing bands in from outside And in my other city management jobs, I've brought in big-time bands. I mean, I've hired LL Cool J to do a few sets. That's how diverse I am. So I know how to do that, but you don't do that in Sims Park. And we're doing a disservice by sitting here talking about Wall Lake is not diverse, or, you know, there's got to be diversity. That's a disservice to the small-town community we are. Now, if we want to deal with that in that way, if there's a constituency of people who want to see people like LL Cool J or more modern, if we can bring Drake in on our budget, then we'll bring Drake in. But you got to get to city, for those of you who don't know Drake in, he's a pretty popular guy out there, you know. And if he'll come in for free, we'll schedule him this week. So that's called being diverse. But it's about the money, it's about the location. You don't bring in large bands or popular bands to Sims Park. If we're going to do that, any kind of thing, it will happen next door. And the answer to his question is yes, that is a good place. We're looking to, once we get settled in, we'll have some concerts there, because I think it will fit for that kind of activity. And if we do that, then certainly we can search out and actually see if they will fit our budget and bring in some people from wherever they want to come. Also, we're going to try to have some more plays out there, too. If we partner with Jet Theater, we get them over. So this activity happening, but it will be out. I don't think this summer. We may be able to work one in, but that next door would be where to have that, not in Sims Park. We're not going to be bringing in the big-time bands and the very popular bands in Sims Park. It's a local community kind of gathering, and yeah, there's a whole lot of folks there that they've been in Wall Lake for 40 years, and we're not going to bring in some band that you never heard of to make them happy. You're going to make them miserable. We're going to get more pushback. If we're going to call it out and say they want some diversity in bands just because of that, it's going to be next door. But we do ourselves a disservice by saying somehow we're not diverse. The city's been more diverse in the last 12 years than it's ever been.
I was talking about location for the concerts that already happened. I thought diversity had ended on the last conversation. I didn't even say anything about diversity. My question was about the local things that are already happening. Why not bringing them downtown? It's a small city as it is. I don't think that, you know, the city's that big that if we were doing concerts in the park in that area right there, it wouldn't be a great metropolis for all of the community, the people of Wall Lake, to come and see the local bands that you guys already booked.
I would have to agree with Giovanni. I don't know how this turned into diversity again. Giovanni was just trying to explain that and ask if we could possibly in the future move the concert to that location.
Mr. Macy, your audio was a little bit
Broken up.
broken.
Well, I think we beat that to death. So it looks like we're going to try to schedule some concerts, real concerts, next door if we can work. And they might even try to do it this year if we can get some construction over with. So, well, if we can move on, we don't need to beat it to death here. You know my position on it.
Okay, so are we ready for adjournment, folks? We would entertain a motion. What's that?
No, you don't.
Motion to adjourn?
Well, I guess somebody want to support that out there?
I second it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are adjourned.
Everyone have a good night. Thank
Hey,
you.
everyone.